Hey everyone, the Anthony S. here, and I want to talk to you guys about something today. It's going to be a little bit of a rant, but it's very important and it's very real for a lot of people, including myself at one point in my life. And the title of this podcast is actually going to be Are You Stuck in a Rut? I already know what it is because there is a simple reality that some of us are just not patient enough to make things happen. And we think we're stuck in a rut, and we have this idea of a time limit that we have. Now, there obviously are certain time limits in life, and there is an optimal time and optimal space to get things done. That is an obvious thing. I'd like to be comfortable at 35. I'd like to say I could stop at work for a couple days and go do something that I enjoy. But at the end of the day, 35 is still pretty young, and I want to bring this up because at 18, and even maybe even a year ago, there are certain pressures that I thought I gotta get this done in this set of time. And they're still kind of out there. I'm still aware of that space, that moment where I'd like to be able to say certain things about what I'm doing. But at the end of it all, it takes time. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of effort daily. And when I teach my management class, the first 3 steps are help the employees find the why, help them create the path to achieve that why, and help them stay on the tasks to achieve that path. Right now, in order to really get where I want to be, I'm putting out content on about 4 or 5 different social media platforms. Just to show people that I can do it, that I coach in consulting for social media, and overall, I just want to share as much as I possibly can of me documenting my process. Because most of the stuff that I talk about is not stuff that I just read in a book and then regurgitated to you guys to try to make money on a podcast. I don't care if I don't make a dime off this podcast or the LinkedIn articles I'm going to start writing or the Instagram social media I'm going to put out there daily. I don't care if it makes me $1 million or not in the next 10 years or 5 or 2. What I care about is sharing the knowledge that I've gained because I understand the sadness behind thinking you're stuck in that rut and thinking you have to be somewhere when it's made up pressure. You're doing it to yourself. That is not what you need to be doing. If you put that unknown pressure and you cause that stress, that anxiety, you're basically having the same situation happen twice. You get nervous about a situation, and if it happens, then you're nervous again. You're causing all this energy to be utilized improperly. One of the biggest things I learned in the last 6 months, this is fresh stuff for me. I'm just starting to utilize it today, even though I learned it 6 months ago and it's taken 6 months to get into it. There was a time where I would think about things in the morning and stress myself out and just be exhausted. It would ruin the rest of my day because I'd be exhausted for the rest of it. And I'd have to take a midday nap just because I was so tired of all the mental energy I was using. As soon as I figured out that just being present, being in the moment, and yes, being aware that things could happen, but also saying it could happen, it might not, my world changed. I almost doubled what I could do in a day. It is absolutely ridiculous to think that we have to match some special line of things to do. And this goes back to another one. If you look back, I think it might be between episode 10 and 20 of this podcast, required versus inspired work. If you stress it, it becomes required work and you won't do it. When I stressed about trying to get a podcast done a day, it felt like required work, and I'd often miss it and sometimes miss it for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Now I'm inspired to do this daily. Doing this podcast isn't even a question anymore. I just do it. I'm surprised Nike's not out here giving me a sponsorship. I'm doing it just as well as I possibly can at the moment. And you should too. But before you start making it required work and start stressing yourself out about the things you're not doing, appreciate the things you are doing right today. And if you don't get some stuff done, so be it. Get it done tomorrow. Instead of taking that nap, finish those 2 things real quick and then take that nap and enjoy that nap at that point because you said, I completed these things. I get this nap as a reward. It's not so much now as what I'm doing to procrastinate on the things that I should be. That'll make huge changes in your life. I promise you that. And if it doesn't, give me a call. I'll make another video apologizing. But as far as I'm concerned, and as far as many people I've seen change their mental positivity, their mental thought process, it has affected them in a positive way externally and how they get things done day to day, as well as myself. This is the Anthony S. You Are Not Alone. Hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you all soon.